take you so baby left, then I get to take you so baby left. It's a little baby show. Take you so baby left, then I get to take you so baby left. It's a little baby show. Take you so baby left, then I get to take you so baby left. It's a little baby show. Take you so baby left, then I get to take you so baby left. It's a little baby show. Take you so baby left, then I get to take you so baby left. It's a little baby show. Take you so baby left, then I get to take you so baby left. It's a little baby show.
Yeah, I can even focus on sleeping. You're so Mic test 1, 2, 3. Mic test 1, 2, 3. Thank you, sir.
Mic test.
Magkamata. Sabay-sabay. Sabay-sabay.
Mic test 1, 2, 3. Mic test.
Buhay lang, buhay lang.
Mic test 1, 2, 3. Mic test.
Take you so baby left and I get to take you so baby left. It's a little baby show. Take you so baby left and I get to take you so baby left. It's a little baby show.
Oh.
We would like to welcome everyone on another virtual conference hosted by the Philippine Institute of the 21st Century Educators, or the PICE 21, and Pinoy Educators Advocating Social Media Education, or PIASME. Our participants are so diverse this afternoon. We have teachers from public schools, private institutions, state universities, and colleges, among others. But despite of the differences and distance across among us, we are united by the thoughts that we are 21st century educators.
Baby left and I get to take you so baby left. It's a little baby show. Take you so baby left and I get to take you so baby left. It's a little baby show.
We would like to recognize our participants. We have here participants from Inang Cavite. We have Maria Corazon Herrera. Good afternoon, ma'am. And we have also participant from the municipality of Batad in Iloilo. We have Ma'am Hedelin Catalan. Good afternoon, ma'am. And of course, good afternoon also to our participants from Eastern Samar State University. We also have participants from Tanao Elementary School in Batad, Iloilo. Good afternoon also to our participant from the province of Capiz in Rojas City. And also, good afternoon to our participant coming from different parts of the country. We also have participants coming from Western Mindanao State University CI campus. Good afternoon to Sir Ronald Torno. And also good afternoon to Ma'am Sherry Joy Arocha, participant from St. Mary College in Tagum, Davao del Norte. So our virtual conference will start in a short while, but meanwhile, we would like to request everyone to just stand by. Start ko. Once again, we're currently viewed in different social media platforms. We are now live via Zoom, and we're also live on YouTube and POMI channel. Late telecast of this event will be uploaded at Facebook page of Vice 21 later tonight. My name is Isidro Villa Jr. I'm currently a student under the program of Masters in Education, major in Educational Technology and Communications at Raja Mangala University of Technology in Tanyaburi, Bangkok, Thailand. Like everyone else, day by day, I am also confronted by the different challenges in our academic life, both being as an educator and as a student. So our organization has come up with an idea of organizing a virtual conference series to help the educator to cope up with a changing course of time in this new normal. We already have successfully organized 7 virtual conference, and this 8th webinar or virtual conference is entitled Teaching Blended Learning Effectively Using LMS. This aims to empower teachers amidst this pandemic. Nobody has seen it coming, nobody has been prepared for it. But as a 21st century educator, the best time to be ready is now. A quick reminder for our participants, your participation is highly encouraged during the open forum or question and answer segment to follow right after the talk proper of our speaker. You may comment your question in the comment box on YouTube and Zoom. We will notify you ahead if you're recognized to ask the question. Before we start, may I request everyone to be in silent for the prayer. Let us bow our head and put ourselves in. Right, so good afternoon once again. At this juncture, let me introduce to you our guest speaker this afternoon. So he is a Master of Information Technology Management graduate at Philippine Christian University in Manila, Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering graduate of Western Institute of Technology, and awarded as the Most Outstanding Student Leader of the Year in 2005. Currently, he has units in Masters in Business Administration. Subject includes Operation Management, Advertising and Promotion, Leadership and Organizational Behavior at University of San Agustin. He has also degree in Vocational in Industrial Operation and Management in Institute of Technical Education in Singapore. He has various certificates of completion as trainer methodology level 1 certified, conduct competency assessment and supervising work-based learning under the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority or TESDA in Region 6. For his work experiences, he is now a faculty member of Western Institute of Technology from the year 2018 up to the present. He's also an associate engineer of CYS Mac Automation Engineering PTE in Singapore, from year 2007 to 2010. He is also an operation manager of Western Visayas Telecom Concepts Incorporated in the years 2015 to 2018 in Pasig City, Manila. Operations Manager for Service, Samsung Electronic Philippines Incorporated in the years 2012 to 2015, and recent seminars or workshops conducted. He has conducted Learning Management System or Google for Education workshop webinar, and his audience are educators all over the region. Department of Information and Communications Technology, the ICTE Region 6, is the organizer of the event. Second, the Anywhere School Google Global Conference Workshop in google.edu. He has also conducted blended learning through online learning platforms workshop in Western Institute of Technology. He has also conducted flexible learning for teachers workshop training in Western Institute and Technology, and is also a grantee of Department of Science and Technology Scholarship, finished the course of IT Project Management in Just School of Business. He has also finished a course on e-learning, Ecology's innovative approaches to teaching and learning for the digital age in the University of Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Engineer Joel V. Garcera. Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for the introduction, sir. Is it possible for me to share my screen now?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Please allow me to share my screen now. Please give me one moment. All right, I believe I believe my screen is now projected in your end. All right. Thank you so much for the introduction once again, sir. Thank you so much for all the participants that we have right now. Okay, once again, I am Engineer Joel Garcera, and this is about teaching blended learning effectively using the learning management system. All right, without further ado, let me start the topic and discussion. All right, and as mentioned earlier, I just want to inform everyone that this is actually an enhanced and more concise version of the webinar conducted and organized by the Department of Information and Communications Technology, or the ICTE Region 6, for teachers all over the region. However, the ICT wanted to focus the workshop webinar about the topic learning management system and using Google for education, which are intended for the teachers all over the region or region 6. So again, I would like to assure everyone that this is an enhanced and more concise version of that particular webinar. Okay, so let me proceed. First and foremost, let's go back with the topic. Okay, the question here is that what is blended learning? I'm sure most of you, dear teachers, I'm sure you are all aware and you already have an idea what is blended learning, because most of the schools, colleges, and universities right now are already adapting blended learning for education for this particular year. So the question here is that what is blended learning? Okay, so I hope I can answer this. And I believe I am confident that I can answer this question before the end of this discussion. Here, let me cite some sources right now. According to the Department of Education, school opening will not necessarily mean traditional face-to-face learning in a classroom. That means school or delivery modalities such as blended and online learning delivery modes are encouraged. That's according to the official website of the Department of Education, which is www.deped.gov.ph. That means Department of Education are uh, wanted to encourage school, colleges, and universities to adopt blended learning for this particular school year. Also, the Commission on Higher Education released a memo which also states that and encourage schools to adopt blended learning for delivering educational or education for this school year. And according to the commissioner, the Commission on Higher Education on Monday recommends that the classroom learning as or blended learning as a precaution against COVID-19 should classes starts in August. That only means these two, sorry, this particular source came from the official webpage of Commission on Higher Education, which is ched.gov.ph. That only means, ma'ams and sirs, dear educators, that these two institutions, government and institutions, encourage school, colleges, and universities to adopt blended learning for this particular school year for as a precaution against COVID-19. Okay, so moving forward, going back to my question earlier, what is blended learning? Blended learning, again, is an approach to education that combines online educational materials and opportunities for interaction online with traditional place-based classroom methods. But I would prefer to explain it using this particular photo. Blended learning is a combination of face-to-face learning, that's the conventional classroom approach, and online learning. These are the components of blended learning. But I believe, dear educators, I'm not the right person to explain face-to-face learning or the conventional classroom setup. But I will focus more with our discussion for today. I will focus with online learning, which is one of the essential component of blended learning. So again, we will focus more with discussing, or the discussion will focus more with the online learning side of blended learning. Okay, let's move forward. Here, it's a breakdown of blended learning. Today's classroom blends, today's classroom blended learning, today's classroom blends traditional method of instruction with digital instruction for a variety of learning possibilities. Again, as mentioned earlier, today's classroom is a combination of digital instruction and our traditional instruction. Probably traditional instruction includes our face-to-face classroom traditional setup and our modular approach. But for now, as mentioned earlier, we will focus the discussion with the digital instruction side of the today's classroom or of blended learning. So let me move forward. Blended learning is technically known as e-learning or electronic learning, but it's commonly and technically known as e-learning. Here, these are common tools widely used globally and even in the Philippines to conduct e-learning. Okay, here are familiar to, I'm sure you are familiar with these tools. First, we do have virtual classroom. I'm sure most of you, dear educators, were able to use virtual classrooms. And here we have video conferencing, like the one we are using right now, which is Zoom. Okay, it's a good tool for video conferencing. And of course, your online module. Your online module is like your books or your modules converted to a digital copy to make an online module. So I'm sure, ma'ams and sirs, I'm sure you are familiar with these tools. These tools are widely and commonly used by teachers, by educators to conduct online learning. We have virtual classroom again, video conferencing, and online modules. All right. But the question here, let's have a reality check. Ma'ams and sirs, please remember these tools, right? Again, I'm sure one of your friend, one of your co-teacher or co-educator are using these tools. Okay, please, let's have a reality check. The question here is that, ma'ams and sirs, do you think all students have gadgets capable of online learning? In reality, in the Philippine setup, do you think all, emphasis with the word all, students have gadgets capable of online learning? Second question, ma'ams and sirs, do you think all, emphasis with the word all, students have stable internet connection? Not only to students, also educators like us, also teachers like us. Do you think all teachers in the Philippines have stable internet connection? Question there is, what do you think? Okay, here, I'm sure you will all agree with me. The answer there is a big no. I'm sure, ma'ams and sirs, you will agree with me. Not all students or even educators have gadgets capable of online learning. Not all students in the Philippines and not all educators have stable internet connection. I'm sure you will agree with me. But the next question is, are considering these limitations in online learning, ma'ams and sirs, considering these limitations in online learning, are we going to stop education? Definitely, the answer is a big no as well. We will not stop education, but we will find the least possible means to deliver education, considering these limitations. Okay, let's have another reality. All right, here. Most educators right now I saw online are using Facebook Live. They actually recording their class discussion and they are even uploading their pre-recorded class discussion using Facebook or using Facebook Live. Ma'ams and sirs, let's get a bit technical right now. Okay. Facebook Live will require at least an upload speed of 5.7 Mbps. That's 5.7 megabits per second. Ma'am and sirs, if you have a notebook right now, please take note of that because we wanted to prove a point later on. Again, Facebook Live, if you saw your co-teachers and co-educators uploading discussion, class discussion, and lessons using Facebook or Facebook Live, the students will be required to have at least 5.7 Mbps download upload speed. Okay, and I'm sure you are familiar with YouTube as well. Okay, most educators globally and even in the Philippines are using YouTube or YouTube Live and uploading their class discussion. Ma'ams and sirs, remember this. If you will upload your class discussion using YouTube Live or YouTube, your students will be required at least 6.2 Mbps for them to access your lessons, for them to download and stream your class discussion. Once again, ma'ams and sirs, here, let's take a note or let's have a mental note. It will require students to have at least 5.7 Mbps. If educators will upload learning materials using these portals, Facebook and YouTube. Okay, let's move forward. We conducted uh, I conducted a feasibility study regarding e-learning or online learning feasibility in the Philippines or in Western Visayas. Okay, we do have these students. Okay, we have Keith Louis Aberde. He's from Barangay Puyas, Cabatuan, Iloilo. And we actually conducted a speed test of his internet connection. He only have 0.58 Mbps download speed. This is far below the requirement of YouTube. That only means, ma'ams and sirs, if you as a teacher will upload your discussion using YouTube or Facebook, this student, Keith Louis Aberde, will be left behind. He cannot access your online materials. He cannot watch your class discussion uploaded in YouTube or in Facebook. Okay? Another data science. We are talking about data science right now, ma'am, sensors. This is accurate information. And this is feasibility study. Here, we have John Jericho Cruz Arellio, is a student from our school, and we conducted a speed test in his location, and he only have 0.36 Mbps. He is residing at Barangay Marong, Lambunao, Iloilo. This is considered one of the, please forgive me with my word, this is considered a far-flung area. So for example, ma'ams and sirs, if you will upload your class discussion using those portals or yes, portals mentioned earlier, that means John Jericho Arellio, who only have 0.36 Mbps, cannot access your class discussion. All right. So that means these students, we cannot afford that these students will be left behind. That's the ultimate goal of education. That's the ultimate goal of Department of Education. No learners or no learners should be left behind. But if you use those portals mentioned earlier, if you use YouTube or Facebook, these students, again, we are talking about data science. These are accurate information. They cannot access your online materials. Let's move forward. These are located out of towns. Let's have a reality check of those students living in the city area. Here, how about the city areas? I have here student Carl Emmanuel Huanga is residing or living at Barangay Engore, La Paz, Iloilo City. And unfortunately, he only have 0.26 Mbps. Why? Supposed to be logically or technically speaking, in the city area, we have the fastest internet speed available. In the city area, if I will be using my phone right now, I can get 30 to 40 Mbps. But the question here, why is it student Carl Emmanuel Huanga only got 0.26 Mbps, even though he is living or residing at Barangay Engore, La Paz, Iloilo City. This is within the city area. Because Carl Emmanuel Huanga might not, his gadget or his cell phone may not be capable to access the fastest internet speed in the area. Even though we do have the fastest internet speed available in the area, but our gadget, our cell phone, our old computer may not be capable to access that speed. That only means we will still be getting this kind of result. So again, even though these students are residing in the city area, but then they don't have the gadgets capable for online learning or capable to access the fastest internet speed in the area, still they cannot access your lessons, ma'ams and sirs. Sad truth, but it's a reality. So again, the question there is that with this, considering these limitations, the biggest question nowadays, are we going to stop education? Because basically, in IT perspective, as computer engineer, Philippines is not ready for online education probably only 20% can afford, or a few, but not, definitely not all. But going back with my question earlier, considering these limitations, are we going to stop education? I'm sure you will agree with me. The answer is a big no. Again, we will continue education and use the least possible means. Let's move forward. Here, what would be the solution? According to data scientists, according to IT professionals, and according to computer engineers, to combat these limitations, we will be using learning management system. Okay, so what is a learning management system? Here, technically, a learning management system is a software application for the administration, documentation, tracking, reporting, automation, and delivery of educational courses, training programs, or learning and development programs. The learning management system concept emerged directly from e-learning. Let me explain further using the next, using the next slides. Here, why we need to use a learning management system. If you could remember earlier, ma'ams and sirs, using Facebook or using YouTube, your students will be required to have at least 5.2 or 5.4 Mbps to access your online materials. But using the learning management system for email and web browsing, it will only require students to have at least 500 kbps. Let's convert that for not so techy. Let's convert that to Mbps for us to have a comparison. 500 kbps is equal to zero point 0.5 megabit per second or zero point 0.5 Mbps. That only means, dear educators, that those students who are living in the far-flung areas who may not be capable to access a stable internet connection using a learning management system, they will have a chance to access your online learning materials. Because again, this is data science, it will only require them to have at least zero point 0.5 Mbps. Okay, for example, your module, I'm sure you have your digital copy of the module. If you upload and download that particular online module using the learning management system, it will require students to have at least 5.7 Mbps. That means it's still manageable for those students to access your online materials. For online learning like your simple assessments, uh, your simple instructions, and other educational processes, it will require only 250 kbps. If we will convert that, it is equivalent to 0.25 Mbps. That means, if you could remember earlier, we have Carl Emmanuel Huanga, we have other students who are living in the far-flung areas. That means they can access your online materials because it will only require them at least 0.25 Mbps connection or internet speed, I mean. Okay, this is totally here for HD quality video streaming using the learning management system. Okay, it will only require students to have at least 4 Mbps. This is far below the requirement of your YouTube or your Facebook, which is 5.4 Mbps. Okay, and lastly here, I'm sure in our educational process, dear educators, we need, it's a must for us to give assessment. It's a must for us to give quizzes. It's a must for us to give written performance tasks. And we can do that using the learning management system. Okay. For current generation of multiple choice assessment and simple quizzes, it will require only 64 kbps or 0.064 mbps for your student to access those assessment and quizzes. These are the advantages of using a learning management system compared to your to using or compared to using the other online platforms and social media platforms. Okay, let's have let's discuss further here. Also, government institutions like Department of Education here releases a memo, particularly DepEd Order number 013 series of 2020, dated June 19, 2020. According to that memo, it's a non-negotiable minimum requirements for online distance learning to have a learning management system. That's a requirement from the Department of Education according to this memo. That only means that this institution or the Department of Education is also encouraging schools to use the learning management system. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, let me explain each word. Learning because you use it to deliver education or education courses or training programs. This is a counterpart of our classroom conventional learning. But right now, it's an online learning. Okay, management because it helps you organize these courses, create them, change them, assign them to students, grade them, and etc. and a lot more. It's a counterpart of your conventional classroom management. I'm sure, ma'ams and sirs, if as teachers, we are imposing, we should impose classroom management. But right now, we will impose online or IT management. Okay, it's a system. Logically speaking, it's a system because it's a computer software. So I believe I was able to give you um, details and information regarding the learning management system. Okay, let's move forward. So what does an LMS do exactly? An LMS handles the management and delivery of e-learning courses, while an LMS lets you create e-learning content, your lessons, organize it into courses, deliver content either internally to your business or to wider internet audiences, enroll students to said courses, and finally monitor and assess their performance like attendance, grades, and etc. Okay, all of these benefits or all of these features, you cannot do this using your social media platforms, right? Here, using the learning management system, you can organize your lessons, organize it into courses, or sorry, organize it into topics, into lessons, and even you can organize it into folders and subfolders. Later on, we will have an example of that. Okay, but these are the commonly used features of a learning management system. Okay, let's move forward. Here, learning management systems, I actually browse uh, the net, and according to one of the reliable source online, these learning management systems are available in the market right now, and these are commonly used globally. I'm sure you are familiar with these LMS. Moodle, Google Classroom is commonly used in the Philippines right now. Universities and colleges in Manila are using Google Classroom, and most IT institutions, including IT schools, are using Microsoft Education. And if you are in Iloilo, one of the prestigious school in Iloilo is using Canvas infrastructure right now. Okay, and some public schools are using Schoology and Edmodo as their official learning management system. Okay, but let's check what are the features and benefits of these learning management systems. Here, later on, our goal, ma'ams and sirs, is to choose a learning management system that can satisfy our ultimate vision as an educator or as a teacher, a vision of no learner should be left behind. This is our ultimate goal. Okay, this is our main consideration of choosing a learning management system. Here, online learning platforms comparison. Let's compare these online platforms. Okay, in case your school, your administration, or if you wanted to if you wanted to use a learning management system in the future to organize your classes, these would be your considerations. For example, let's have the top six. Yes, according to one of the online reliable source. These should be our considerations in choosing a learning management systems, ma'ams and sirs. First, it should be mobile friendly. Second, it should be flexible in most operating system. Third, it should have content suitability, signal strength minimum requirement, and lastly, the pricing or licensing structure. Let's explain mobile friendly for the meantime. Here, ma'ams and sirs, if you will select or if you will choose a learning management system in the future, it should be the application or the software itself should be mobile friendly. Why? The learning management system should not run in laptop computers only or in personal or desktop computers because statistics shows that most students right now are using cellular phones or mobile devices for them to access your online learning materials. That means if you select in the future, if you will select a learning management system that can be accessible to laptops and desktop computers. That means 70% of 80% of students cannot access that software because most of them are using cellular phones or mobile phones, right? So that means, ma'ams and sirs, it's one of the major consideration. It should be mobile friendly, and the learning management system should be accessible using a mobile phone. Next consideration here, it should be flexible in most operating system. I'm so sorry about the technicalities. I am trying to explain and use words in layman's term. Yes, I will try my best to explain using a non-technical word. However, here, my main point right now, dear educators, that choosing an LMS, we should consider flexibility in most operating system because not all students and even educators are using a brand new phone. Some students, most students are using an old phone, an old desktop computer, an old laptop computer, and the version of the operating system um, might not be what they call this suitable for the requirement of your chosen learning management system. So it's a must for us to understand, ma'am and sir, later on we need to select a software which can run in the older version of your Windows operating system, of your Android operating system, of your iOS, and other operating system. Next consideration, it should be content suitability. The content of your chosen LMS should be suitable for educational setup or educational processes because a lot of LMS available in the market right now are designed for business, designed for human resource, for inventory, and something like that. So we need to understand the content of a learning management system. It should be suitable for educational setup or educational processes. Next, signal strength minimum requirement. If you will check your phone right now, in the upper portion there's an icon which says 4G H plus must for us to understand at least symbols, right? So the learning management system should run in a signal or in a minimum signal strength. Next, licensing structure. I'm sure as educators, we are aware that licensing structure is
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. We are having some technical difficulty here in our area. We are experiencing intermittent signal in our internet, but we are now back. And this is one among many problems we encounter when we use technology and LMS for this purpose. And it's a good thing that this afternoon we get to reflect on how we can be able to improve our strategies and teaching in this new normal. Thank you. And now I give the floor to Sir Joel Garcera. Sir Engineer, we are back.
okay. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for patiently waiting. All right, so let's continue. Yes, I agree with Sir earlier that this is considered one of the limitation of e-learning. But later on, I wish I can give you tips and strategies on how to combat these limitations. If you are aware, we do have what we call synchronous and asynchronous approach, an online and offline approach. And we can do that later on using the learning management system. Okay, so we acknowledge this limitation that sometimes we doesn't have a stable internet connection, or probably we are uh, technically disconnected from the internet. That would be the limitation that we will address hopefully if we still have time later on. So going back with the discussion earlier, as mentioned before, that last but not the least, that we should consider pricing and licensing structure in choosing a learning management system because, ma'ams and sirs, there are a lot of softwares or educational platforms that we can use. I'm sorry, that we can use, the features are offered totally free unless you will subscribe, unless you will get the premium access. And of course, in that sense, you need to pay. But generally speaking, there are a lot of learning management system available in the online market right now, in which we can access the essential features totally free. So let's study that, or please be vigilant with the pricing later on in choosing, in case in your most convenient time, if you will browse online, please be vigilant or please check the pricing or the cost of the software. Okay, so let's move forward. I believe right now you have at least selected your desired LMS with all of those considerations mentioned earlier. But we will discuss further for us to have at least a to clarify your questions and clarify the things that we need to consider in choosing a learning management system. Right here. So moving to the subtopic of this discussion, ma'ams and sirs, how to use a learning management system efficiently, how to use a learning management system effectively. Okay, it's important for us to understand virtual classroom etiquette. The topic is about how to ensure a great learning experience. It's really a must for us to understand and impose virtual classroom etiquette. What is this all about? Here, it's a counterpart of your good manners and right conduct in communication or in communicating online. Netiquette is composed of two words or is derived from internet and etiquette. So again, as mentioned a while ago, it's a counterpart of your good manners and right conduct. In online communication, since we will be using learning management system, it's a must for us educators, and it's really a must for our students to understand is what are online etiquette, or technically known as netiquette. Here, netiquette is the correct or acceptable way of communicating on the internet. I'm sure you are familiar with this topic because there are a lot of webinars, workshops, and even online discussion about this topic. But I would like to highlight the most important things right now, dear educators. Here, as mentioned a while ago, it is netiquette is that it is important to recognize that the online classroom is in fact a classroom, and certain behaviors are expected when you communicate with both your peers and your instructors. This is dedicated or this is intended for students. These guidelines for online behavior and interaction are known as netiquette. But this is the most important thing I would like to remind our dear educators right now. Netiquette includes the security control, the security part of online communication. I'm sure you are aware of this, but I would like to remind it once again. Right now we are dealing with online right now we are dealing with online accounts. Our students, we can identify our students using online accounts, using online identities. It's a must for us to protect those identities and those information, because probably in case that will leak, those information will leak in the online world or will leak to other sources, to other websites. That's a violation of data privacy. Once again, I would like to remind everyone, part and effectively, efficiently use the learning management system includes the security control of your account and your students. Remember that your password is the only thing protecting you from pranks and for more serious harm. Do not share your password with anyone. Change your password if you think someone else might know it. And for our students, please tell them if they will go to internet cafes or to other public Wi-Fi stations, it's a must for them to log out their accounts after using it. Again, this is a learning management system. It information uploaded in that particular portal considered may be considered um, essential and may be considered um, what they call the what security or privacy protected. Okay, the next year, I believe these are general guidelines. I'm sure you are aware of this. It's about using caps lock, or it's about using um, proper or taking care of confidential information is something like this. So I would probably skip this part for the meantime, but I would like to highlight the security part of security control of netiquette. So this is one way of using the learning management system effectively. Moving forward, again, since we are dealing with students online right now, most students are represented by their online accounts, represented by their online identities. It's a must for us, dear educators, to know and understand IT management. So what is IT management? Here, it's information technology management is the discipline whereby all the information technology resources of a firm are managed in accordance with its needs and priorities. Okay, sounds technical, right? Okay, I will explain further using this presentation. It's a simulation or simulation uh, using the learning management effectively. I'm sorry, to use the learning management system effectively, it's a must for us teachers to understand email account and access management, right? Here, I isolated or simulated 3 students and a teacher, okay? But logically, we do have even 100 students right now, or even 50, at least 50 students right now. But for us to simulate properly, I considered 3 students. Again, it's about access management. Ma'am and sirs, please do understand this. Right now, um, years back, we are dealing with students face to face. That means they can recognize them physically. They can recognize their physical features and the likes. But right now, ma'am and sirs, if we will conduct blended learning and online learning, we will identify students using their online accounts only. It's okay. It's okay for us. It's actually it's easy for us to identify students who were able in which we were able to meet before, probably second year or third year students. But how about those students, those freshmen, those first year students? How can we identify them? So let's use this simulation. Here, we have a teacher and 3 students. For example, student number 1 is using this account. Okay, it's soso372xy2k@bts.com. Okay, that student is using that online identity or online account. And dear educators, mind you that most students, or please forgive me about the classification, most Generation Z students right now are fond of using these accounts, right? So how can we easily identify these students using this online account and using this profile picture? We respect this picture, but again, this is not a social media account. This particular online account is not encouraged. Next, let's proceed to student number 2. Here, student number 2 is using this Gmail account or online account in your learning management system. It's from ymail.com. It sounds legit, right? Because Yahoo Mail is one of the best provider of email. Okay, but the student is using pedroguapo@ymail.com. Okay, and the student probably use Face App to upload his profile picture. That means you as a teacher will get confused who is the owner of this particular account. Okay, let's move forward. Here comes student number 3. Student number 3 is using this online account. Came from gmail.com. It sounds legit because Google, again, is one of the best email provider. However, the name of the account is virusfound@gmail.com. If a student submit his or her quiz as a teacher, are you going to open it? Once again, ma'ams and sirs, a student, a first year student, which you haven't met before, is using a virusfound@gmail.com, and he actually, with all good intention, he submitted his quiz using this email. Are you going to open it? Definitely the answer is no, because you might think, our instinct might think that this particular email came from unreliable source. Okay, so these uh, these are highly discouraged. Please, in case our students will create their own accounts for LMS, these online accounts and identities are strongly discouraged. Okay, let's move forward. Ma'am and sirs, I actually simulated 3 students earlier, right? Imagine, logically speaking, here, imagine if you are handling 6 sections with 40 students per section. That's, let's do a simple math. That's a total of 240 students with different unidentified accounts. As a teacher, what will you feel? These are first year students, and you haven't met these students before, and they are using unidentified online accounts. That means if they submitted an assessment, if they submitted the quiz, you will take time to do a background check. You will take time to open that email, search for sources, search for identification. And mind you, we cannot do that all the time. That means students and teachers should understand proper access and IT management. Okay. If you have questions later on, ma'am and sirs, you can actually, if we do have a chat box, or if we have any other portals for you to raise your question, we will answer your questions after the discussion. Or you can actually take note for the meantime, and we will definitely answer those questions later on. Moving forward, this is actually a perspective of a teacher. How about for students? Okay, let's not be biased. This is a perspective of a teacher. How about a perspective of a student? Here, you have here a student. Let's simulate. Here comes a social science teacher. Social science teacher wanted the student to send the quiz using Gmail. The social science teacher wanted the student to use Google Classroom, and for that class discussion, this teacher wanted to use video conferencing using Zoom. It's still manageable for student, right? Next class, this is social science is first class in the morning from 8 a.m. until 10 a.m., for example. Next class from 10 a.m. until 12 noon. Here comes the math teacher. Math teacher wanted to upload his discussion using Facebook Live. He wanted also to use Google Classroom. and he wanted to use Zoom for the next few days. Still manageable. Next, in the afternoon classes, we have PE teacher. PE teacher wanted to send the performance task using www.yahoomail.com, and other teachers as well. We have English teachers using YouTube and Excel file. Okay, and there are still a lot more subjects. Imagine this, ma'am and sir. If a single student, if as educators or teachers, we will be given freedom to choose online platforms, if we will be given freedom to select whatever online platforms or uh, pages or any and something like that, that means this particular student will take time to understand and to learn all of these online platforms before they can actually learn their lesson for that subject. So I hope we will eliminate this scenario, ma'am and sirs. That means we need to use a one-stop shop application. All of this application may be available, all of the features of this application may be available, and most are available in the learning management system. That means we will impose a one-stop shop or a one platform for all of these educational processes. This will happen to your student in case teachers will use different online platforms in delivering their education. Okay, let's move forward. So what is the solution? Still, solution is the learning management system. Next. Here, this is just a recommendation, ma'am and sirs. This is just a recommendation, a suggestion. In case in the future or in the next few days, you will create or you will get or yes, you will create your own learning management system. There are, again, as mentioned earlier, there are a lot of learning management system available in the market right now, which is offered totally free. In case you will use it in the near future, please inform your students to use appropriate photos. They must use photo which can be easily identified. This is still part of IT management for you to effectively use the learning management system. Here, please inform them to use a 2x2 recent face captured photo, which is highly encouraged or recommended, something like this. They don't need to go to a photo studio. They can actually use their Facebook photos. They just need to crop it and make sure it's recent and make sure it's face captured so that for students or for teachers like us, we can easily identify those students who are who owns that online account. Okay, let's move forward. Here, whole body photos are strongly discouraged. Okay, these photos are strongly discouraged. Once again, this is not an online, what they call this one. This is not a social media page. This is an educational platform. It should be decent. It should be professional. Edited photos are discouraged. Something like this. It's edited using a face app, and this is very important. Photos with face masks, sunshades, and any other face obstructions are discouraged. Okay, I'm sure if they will take their photo, please tell them, ma'ams and sirs, that they can take photos alone so that they can remove their mask and other protective gears or something like that. Okay, again, face mask, sunshades, and other face obstructions as a profile picture in the learning management system are strongly discouraged. Okay, these are just recommendations. I hope you will implement in case you will have your own learning management system. Benefits of using a learning management system. Course and content management. Next, using the learning management systems, dear educators, you can organize e-learning content in one location. As mentioned earlier in the previous discussion or in the previous slides and simulation, okay, teachers are using different platforms. But if we will use LMS, we can organize all of those subjects, lessons, and topic in one location. Okay, so next, provides unlimited access to e-learning materials. And of course, students can download content and work offline. Okay, as mentioned before, not all students are capable of online learning, but there are times they can find means. For example, in just 30 minutes, they will go to internet shops or will find a stable internet connection. They can download all the learning materials uploaded by their teachers. And after downloading those learning materials, they can go straight to their homes and work offline. They can even work with it overnight. Okay, that's actually one of the best feature of a learning management system. Next, tracking and reporting. I'm sure we cannot do this using your Facebook and your YouTube. Uh, we can easily track learner progress and performance. Engage or engaging user experience. We can integrate other websites, but make sure those websites adhere to educational ethics. Okay? We can integrate social learning experience using today's platform. Okay? And moreover, things we can do with LMS. We can share learning materials. We can create a lesson. And as mentioned before, those lessons can be organized into topics, into folders, and into subfolders. And we can make classroom announcement. It's like a comment section in your social media pages. We can do that using the learning management system. Simplify the turn-in process for assessment. Turn-in is actually a technical term, an online term for submission. We can simplify the submission process of a quiz or an assessment. Okay, we can do that, and it's easily for us to manage and organize assessment and quizzes using the portal or using the learning management system. Protect privacy. This is very important, ma'ams and sirs, because LMS is a contained environment. That means, for example, if you upload your class or pre-recorded class discussion via YouTube or via Facebook, there's a possibility that your class discussion can be viewed, can be watched, can be streamed by other people, and that maybe that probably subject for scrutiny and something like that. Okay? We want our learning material to be private. We want our online discussion only intended for our students, I mean. So we need to protect the privacy of these learning materials. And we can absolutely do that using LMS. Next, classroom collaboration. This is very important. We need to give chance for our student to collaborate, to exchange ideas, to exchange thoughts, and to help each other. And this is a good thing that the students can do this in our learning management system. Okay. Create discussion, of course. Organize assignments with due dates. It's also one of the best benefit or feature. You can actually, as teachers, you can give assignments, you can give homeworks, and you can set deadlines or due dates. email and notify students. For example, you conducted or you gave a quiz and you wanted to notify and email back the students regarding the feedback of that quiz. You can absolutely do that. Furthermore, assignment question and answer. This is typical for LMS. Create ad hoc playlist. This is a synchronization. It's actually you can sync your other platforms or you can sync other online materials in your LMS. This is what we call ad hoc playlist. I'm so sorry for the term. It's actually a technical term. Email feedback, as mentioned earlier, you can create folders, link directly. Here, I would like to remind everyone, you can actually, using the learning management system, you can link online materials. You can link it in your classroom or in your portal or in your pages. But please consider that we do have data privacy law. Please make sure that that particular link or that particular downloaded material should be contained in a should be contained in a closed organization or a closed environment, and it we need to make sure to protect the privacy of that online materials, and it only be used for educational purposes. Okay, so multiple files in assignment, easily view student submission. We can do that. Uh, this is also very important, ma'am, since first you can actually check your calendars and organize your schedule. If you have 100 students, if you are organizing 6 sections of 240 students in total, that means it's a must for you to organize your schedule, organize and check your deadlines. Okay, that's the best feature or the best benefit, or yes, that's actually one of the best purpose of using an online calendar, which is directly sync and attached to your learning management system. Integrate other educational platforms such as conferencing, online whiteboard, and the likes. Yeah, we can do that. Sir, excuse me for a while, sir. Do we still have time?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, let's continue. If you could remember earlier that we have examples of commonly and widely used learning management system available in the online market right now. Okay? We have Moodle, we have Edmodo, we have Schoology, we have Microsoft Education, we have Google Education, and we have a lot more. But right now, I really wanted to give you a logical example, okay? Because all of those mentioned earlier are just principles, are just strategies, or um, those are just theories. But right now, for our webinar, for this workshop or webinar to be efficient and effective, I really wanted to give logical example. But for now, please allow me to use Google Classroom or Google for Education as an example of learning management system. In the next or in the future, we can definitely explore, and we will have probably, if we still have time, we will have another example using other learning management system. But for the meantime, I believe one of the widely used and commonly used LMS used by schools, colleges, and universities right now are G Suite for Education. This is a flagship program or software by Google Incorporated. It's a G Suite for Education, but I will focus more with G Suite for Education LMS or Learning Management System. That's the Google Classroom. And all of these applications are just attached in one application. Okay, let's have an example. Here, all of these applications are offered by Google for free. You can use this. Most important and essential features are offered totally free. You just need to sign up using your Google Mail or Gmail. Okay. But for now, I will focus with the learning management system, and I will be using Google Classroom as an example as a logical example of those theories and principles I mentioned earlier. But if you have in your most convenient time, ma'am, sensors later on, you can actually explore all of these applications. Here, it's an official flagship learning management system of Google Incorporated, which is included in a G Suite for Education package. It's the Google Classroom. And most features, important features of this classroom is offered totally free. You just need to sign up using your Gmail account, and you just need to sign up, or yes, just need to sign up using your Gmail account, and you can access features of Google Classroom. Here, I will probably skip this for a while. This is the GUI, or the graphical user interface, or what we call the interface of the Google Classroom. Okay, you have here, um, in that page, you can organize your courses, you can organize your lessons, you can enroll students, monitor students, check performance quizzes, and performance tasks. Let's have an example of that later on. Let's skip this. This is actually a lengthy explanation. I will skip this for a while. As mentioned earlier, ma'am, sirs, if you don't have your Gmail account, if you really wanted to try Google Classroom and other learning management system, I would recommend that you will sign up and get your very own Gmail account, or your Gmail or your email address from Google. Mhm. I would like to recommend, if you wish to use Google Classroom later on, I wish to recommend for um, I wish to recommend to use Google Chrome, because probably if you will use other browsers like your Internet Explorers and your Opera and your Firefox, it might have conflict, or it might have a compatibility issue later on. So in case you have your Google Chrome, please use Google Chrome to access your Gmail and to access your Google Classroom. This is the interface of Google Classroom. In case you already have your Gmail open, please click the next tab. Let's have a logical example later on. You can click the next tab, and you can access using this URL or using this website, classroom.google.com. Please allow me to give you an example. Let me access my Google Classroom for the meantime. Okay, my I already opened my Gmail. So right now you just need to open the next tab. You just need to open a new tab and click Classroom. But for me, I already created my own classroom. But in case you were not able to start yet, you can actually please give me one moment. Okay, ma'am, since first, please give me a few seconds here. Let me fix something, because I believe I was not able to. I cannot uh, screen share my Google Classroom. Just give me a few seconds for the meantime. Right now, I am sharing the entire screen for you to view my Google Classroom, including the PowerPoint presentation. All right, I believe it's working right now. Thank you for patiently waiting. Here, a good example right now. I already opened my email, and as mentioned earlier, that you just need to open one tab, one new tab, and just need to type classroom.google.com for you to open a brand new Google Classroom. Okay, so but right now on my end, I was able to create classes, but in case you will start, you can actually click this icon. It's a join or create class icon. Let's have a short discussion or example right now. If we will click this, you can, for your students, they can join class or even they can create a class for educators or for teachers like us. So let's try creating a class, something like this. Just need to adhere, you just need to agree with the terms and conditions set by Google. Here, you can create a class. For example, we will create math class. For math, section would be section 2 or section 1, 1A, and subject would be general math, for example. Okay, it's up to you about the the room. Create. Creating a classroom via Google Classroom or sorry, creating a class via Google Classroom is actually easy. Just need to follow procedures. Just need to follow uh, the pages prompted, and this would be this is actually the classroom will look like. Okay, let me go back to my slides right now. For Google Classroom, you can actually download it using, this is an additional information right now. You can download it using, is it still okay, sir? Okay, thank you. For Google Classroom, you can download it using your Android phones. Just go to Play Store and search or look for Google Classroom. As mentioned earlier, a learning management system should be accessible in mobile devices because most students are using mobile phones to access a learning material. Okay, so it should be accessible to mobile phones. So in this case, Google Classroom is actually accessible in mobile phones, and you just need to download the application. Or if you are using Android phones, just need to download it using Play Store. Okay, this would be the interface. This would be the page that will look like in case you will have you or you will create a brand new Google Classroom or a brand new class. Okay, what you need to do is to just click this particular icon, click create a class, or for students, they just need to join the class. Here, um, I would like to share best practices to teach effectively using the learning management system. However, the things mentioned, the principles, including the strategies mentioned before, those are important things that we need to consider for us to efficiently and effectively use any learning management system or for us to efficiently conduct an online class. But here are possible or best practices coming from educators and other IT professionals for us to use it effectively. First, we need to combine synchronous and asynchronous approach. That means in layman's term, we need to use offline and offline mode, sorry, online and offline mode. Synchronous is actually a real-time online communication. Asynchronous, what you can do for asynchronous approach, you can actually record a class discussion, upload it in your Google Classroom so that the students will just watch and stream it during their scheduled time. Okay, so please learn about this on how you can combine synchronous and asynchronous approach in delivering online or in delivering your learning materials and your online classes. We need to combine audio with visuals to improve knowledge retention because if we will be using pure text in our presentation in the learning management system platforms, if we will be using all text, that would be, I will tell you, ma'am, sir, that would be absolutely boring. We cannot assure retention and recall from our students if we will be using pure text and black and white graphics or photos. Right now, since we are in the digital age, we have a lot of softwares available to do that. Please make sure to use audio and visual presentation to improve your students' knowledge retention. Next, get e-learning feedback at every stage. It's very important for us to ask feedback from students. That means we need to ask, can they easily access those learning materials which we uploaded online? Is it visible? Is it accessible for them? Okay, it's a must for us to get feedbacks. We need to create tasks to automate or for future use. Ma'am and sirs, um, we implemented an online learning management system or a learning management system a few months ago, and there are a lot of educators and teachers who are actually struggling in preparing their online lessons. What we can do to lessen this stress and lessen this workload, we need to find means to automate or schedule for future use. That means we will be using this material. However, we will schedule it for future use. For example, we will prepare it now, but we will schedule it for the next meeting or the next week that will be posted in the learning management system. Please learn how to automate uh, these resources. Next, always check your to-do list or calendar schedules. This is very important. Always check progress and don't procrastinate. Procrastinate, I mean. Okay, always check online submissions from your students, and as much possible, please make sure to grade them timely and don't let uh, those submissions to accumulate before uh, you will give them or you will give them the grades and including the scores. So please do it at least in a timely manner. Don't wait for it to accumulate. Next, create a sharing portal or discussion board inside the LMS. This is for collaboration purposes. For example, if a certain student will raise a question, other students might have the answer on that particular question. It's not necessarily mean that the teacher should address the question. Okay? Always have a discussion board or a collaboration portal in the learning management system for your students, for our students, I mean, to collaborate ideas, to share questions, and to share possible answers. But this is not about assessment. It's totally a no-no if they will share answers in assessment or quizzes. This is just want to make things clear. It's about a it's about a intellectual discussion and sharing of ideas in the learning management system portal. Please allow students to collaborate with their classmates. Here, that's the things which I mentioned earlier, encourage collaboration, check assessments regularly, draft assessment or announcement, and schedule them to post on a later date. As mentioned, technical term is to automate these announcement, to automate these materials. Reuse assignments, tests, or other course content in future classes. It's very important. So I believe that's all, ma'ams and sirs. I am ready for your questions. I hope we wish to address questions as much as possible.
Okay, thank you so much, Engineer Garcera. This is actually one of the most productive virtual conferences I have attended, sir. So we have learned a lot this afternoon. Good job, sir.
Thank you,
It is
sir.
very inspiring that despite of challenges we face in the new normal education, we are thriving and moving forward. So we will now proceed on the open forum and a question and answer portion. There is somebody assigned in our committee to select questions to be asked on this segment. We would like to encourage everyone to raise the relevant questions on the topic presented this afternoon. We have allocated 2 hours in this virtual conference, so we will try to cater questions as many as we can. When raising your question, kindly introduce yourself and the name of institution you are affiliated with. So, sir, we have one question here. Is it possible to use more than one LMS in our classroom?
That's a great question. The question again, I would like to paraphrase: is it possible to use more than one or several LMS in classroom? Um, yes, it's possible. Logically, it's possible, and it's feasible. We can do that. However, we need to understand why do we need to use one? Why do we need to use several learning management system if we can have a one-stop shop? If we can have one LMS for all of those features you need to conduct your online classes. It's less confusing for students. It's less taxing for educators or for teachers like us to prepare our lessons. So as much possible, ma'am and sirs, it is strongly recommended to use at least one learning management system for all of your students, for all of your subjects, because it's easier for you to prepare. But in case if the need arises, it's really still possible that you can use more than two or several learning management system in one time. Thank you so much for that question.
Okay, sir, thank you so much for clarifying the concern. So we also have a question from Maria Corazon Herrera. Ma'am Corazon asks, what platform would you recommend that would consume the least internet connection?
Okay, that's a great question. Thank you so much for the question, Ma'am Corazon. Um, what platform can we recommend? Actually, the study I mentioned earlier that a learning management system is actually the least possible means that we can use for us to deliver online education. All of these platforms available in the market right now, they do have their own features. They do have their own specifications and requirements. But to address your question, I really don't want to be biased. I'm not advertising, but one of the best efficient and effective platform available in the market right now is Google Classroom, because it's actually established decades ago. Some or most of the learning management system available in the online market are actually established few years back, probably 2 or 3 years. But I would strongly recommend please use the more established, which is, for example, Google Incorporated, Google application, more particularly Google Classroom as your learning management system. Ma'am Corazon, thank you so much for that question.
All right. So next question, sir. We have a question from Ma'am Shara Joy Rosario. What platform, sir, you can suggest for e-feedback?
Okay, I just want to clarify the question if I got it correctly. from Shara Joy, if I'm not mistaken. What platform should I suggest or should I recommend for e-feedback that needs your electronic feedback? Am I correct, ma'am? Okay. If still, as mentioned before, electronic feedback, we can use still Google Classroom because, for example, a student will submit a quiz. And after you check that quiz, you can actually, the system will give you an option to send feedback or to send an electronic feedback via the classroom or via email. You can do both. Okay? For example, you want to send feedback regarding the score. You wanted to send back a feedback regarding the content of the quiz. You can do that using still Google Classroom or Learning Management System. You have two options, as mentioned earlier, to send feedback using the portal and comment section in the portal, and you can send feedback directly and straight to the student email address. So still, learning management system or still Google Classroom would be the best or would be the answer to that question. Ma'am Shara Joy, thank you.
Okay, sir. We have also another question. There is what we call as generational attention gap among learners. There's a lot of distractions like social media and mobile or computer game. How can we make sure that students will not be bored or burn out using LMS or other educational technology?
Okay, that's actually a very timely question that confuses the young minds of today. Okay, that's a good question because we need to make sure to what we need to make sure to manage our learning materials properly so that students will not be out focused. Okay, as much possible, ma'am and sirs, this is actually a responsibility. I hope you will agree with me. This would be the responsibility and of our parents over their parents to collaborate with teachers, to collaborate with educators to guide the students properly. Okay? Of course, as educators, since we are dealing online right now, we are dealing most of the educational process online. Please inform the students to use proper or to limit social media usage. I mean, so that's a very good question, ma'am and sirs. Yes, sir. Please continue.
Okay, sir. Thank you. We'll take note on that advice. We have another question from Sir Ronald Torno of Western Mindanao State University. Do we have application or any means of identifying whether students are just copying an article for an essay assignments or any relative answer to their activity? Because this might involve intellectual property rights issues or plagiarism.
Okay, that's a very good question, Sir Ronald, if I'm not mistaken, if I hear properly. Yes, Sir Ronald, that's a good question. Right now, since most teachers or right now, since we are dealing with online communication, most learning materials are actually shared online. It's a must, and it's really relevant and rampant right now that teachers or even educators are actually violating what you call a intellectual property or something like that, or data privacy, because of sharing these online or these learning materials without the consent of the authors or the owners. Okay? For students, we do have in Google Classroom. I'm not sure if I can share it to you right now. Can share my screen. Uh, for example, if we will be using Google Classroom, okay, there are actually an originality check. That's a feature of your learning management system. The you can check the student submission based in authenticity and based in the originality of that particular submission. So in that way, we can minimize cheating or we can make sure that submission is authentic or came from the student himself or herself. Sir Ronald, that's a good question, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for that. Very good advice, sir. Because one of the problems today in this new normal education is how we can actually control the cheating of students. Because we all know that any informations are just available over the net, and so we must really do something to um, address this issue. And finally, sir, we have a question here. It's about the topic on netiquette. How can we sanction students who do not follow virtual classroom rules? Or, for example, they have already a lot of absences, or they have habitual tardiness in our LMS.
Okay, thank you. Before I answer that question, I would like to add information regarding the question mentioned by Sir Ronald earlier regarding plagiarism. If you will check further later on in Google Classroom, there's actually a plagiarism feature in submitting assessment. That means that particular software or feature of Google Classroom will identify if the student really plagiarize the content of the submitted assessment. Okay, so please, ma'am, since you're in your most convenient time later on, please check there are plagiarism feature or original check in Google Classroom for us to combat the question that you raised earlier. Okay, and for to continue, as mentioned before, the question here is that how can we sanction students who were not able to follow good manners and right conduct or netiquette, online netiquette. Ma'am, sirs, that's still the same with our conventional classroom discussion. Classroom, conventional classroom management, I mean. But right now, we will give sanctions online, something like that. It's a counterpart of our classroom management. It still relies with the discretion of the teacher. What should be the sanction for that particular student? Okay, ma'am and sirs, I would like to be honest. I believe I'm not the right person to explain the conventional type of learning or education, but basically, those one thing I would like to highlight in imposing sanction, whether it's a classroom-based face-to-face learning or an online learning, imposing sanction, there should be justification, there should be due process. Why sanction should be imposed? I believe that's all, ma'am. Thank you.
So we are very thankful to Engineer Carcera. He's very gracious to cater a lot of questions, and we hope we still have enough time. And now we have a question, another question from Mom Pearl. I have been using Google Classroom, and it's very convenient, sir. Would you recommend Facebook as a platform for teaching and learning?
Can you repeat the question, sir? I'm so sorry.
Okay. He said, or she said, sir, I have been using Google Classroom and it's very convenient. However, we have discussed LMS this afternoon, but she just would like to ask, would you still recommend Facebook as a platform for teaching and learning or not?
Um, okay, thank you. Would I recommend Facebook as a platform for teaching or learning? I would strongly answer no. Why? As mentioned earlier, we do have a lot of consideration. For example, privacy consideration. Ma'am sensors, if you, for example, imagine this, if you will upload your class discussion in YouTube or in Facebook, that means that particular recording might be accessed by other people who are not supposed to access and watch that recording. Okay? And probably that will be subject for or criticisms and something like that. So I would still wish for you to upload and use Google Classroom or learning management system because it's considered a contained and secured environment. What do we mean by that? If we will upload your class discussion using learning management system, it is considered secured. Only only teachers or co-teachers and only your students can access those materials. Nothing more, nothing less. So definitely it's for me, for Facebook upload, that's for me, it's a privacy issue. Okay, so but ma'ams and sirs, I would still recommend Facebook and Facebook Messenger for communication, for instant messaging or something like that. That's an efficient purpose of messaging or Facebook Messenger and Facebook. Thank you, ma'am. I forgot the name, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that question.
Okay, sir, your answers are actually very inspiring. And we would like to ask this last question because maybe you're the best person to answer this because you are giving us practical advices on how to use technology in LMS. There are still teachers who were educated in an industrial type of education, and those who have minimal exposure in technology, especially in those older generation. What is the best way we can engage them to use or in using technology
Would be
uh, a
challenge for us
challenge for
right now
us right
because
now because
other
other
teachers,
teachers,
other
other
educators
educators
right now
right now
actually
are
were
actually
able to
were able
teach
to teach
decades,
decades,
30 years,
30
40
years,
years. They
40
are
years.
just
They are
using
just
chalk,
using chalk,
whiteboard, and
whiteboard,
blackboard.
and
But
blackboard.
right now,
But right now,
they are
they are
forced.
forced.
They don't have a
They don't
choice
have a
but to
choice but
use
to use
technology in
technology
delivering
in delivering
education, but to
education,
use
but to
learning
use
management
learning
system,
management
use
system
online
to
approach that they were not able to use before. This is actually I would suggest this is part of the school administration. This is still part of the school organization to help these teachers and educators to cope up with the demand of technology right now. Okay, but for our young at hearts, for those teachers who were not able to use educational technology and online education before, it's actually the best time to start now. It's still the best time to learn something new. And that is now. I believe that's all, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Engineer Garcera, for a very productive afternoon. And we are receiving positive feedbacks here in our comment box as well as on Zoom and YouTube. Thank you so much, Engineer Joel, for the answer. Rest assured, we will try to apply those features you mentioned in Google Classroom. Mabuhay po kayo, sir, and the PICE 21. Okay, we have also a comment from Ma'am Corazon Herrera. Thank you so much, Sir Garcera and the PICE 21. And of course, here on YouTube, we would like to recognize also our audience. And one of the participants said, Ma'am Maria Vema Prospero. Thank you so much, Inyer Garcera and the PICE 21 for a very informative webinar this afternoon. God bless you po, sir. And of course, we would like also to say hello to Sir Cyril de la Fuente, one of the active members of PICE 21 in the University of Antique. We have also Sir Paul Ramsey Belanchon. He's very active member who used to attend activities already for maybe 5 times. And we have also Ma'am Teresa Lopo of CHMSC or Carlos Hilado Memorial State College in Negros Occidental. And of course, we have also Ma'am Amber Portilla. So thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. And finally, sir, before we end, do you have any final or concluding words for our participants?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I will grab this great opportunity to thank everyone. I know it's not easy for us to conduct this new technology and to impose new technology in our current scenario right now. But as mentioned earlier, this is the best time for us to learn something. This is the best time for us to learn new things. And we are, I'm sure, Filipinos, and including we are educators and teachers are resilient to cope up with the demand of our technology right now. Okay, and I believe that's all. Thank you so much for this great opportunity to impart knowledge and ideas. Ma'ams and sirs, thank you so much, and I would like to wish everyone a happy World's Teachers Month. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Engineer Garcera. Okay, so that ends our question and answer portion. We will try to respond on your queries and concerns right after this webinar. There are some important announcements for our participants this afternoon. So number one, to earn the certificate of participation, you must fill up with the attendance and evaluation form. The link is posted in our Facebook official page and the POMI YouTube channel. The digital copy of your certificate and the PDF format of the presentation will be sent on your respective email within 24 hours. Attendance and evaluation will be verified as a requirement before we send your certificate. Paid participants who will not receive their certificate of participation within 24 hours, kindly send a message on official Facebook page or email us at century21@gmail.com. Participants who applied for membership, there will be an additional 180 pesos shipping fee if the participant wishes to have an original copy of her certificate. Membership of at least 3 affiliated organizations will be free of delivery charge on the preferred address. For those who failed to watch it live, you still have the chance to get your certificate of participation. You can still watch the delayed telecast of this webinar, and the video will be posted on our Facebook page or in YouTube. You also have to sign up with attendance and fill up the evaluation form. We also would like to thank the hardworking people behind this virtual conference. We have Ma'am Emmy John Indonila, the president of Philippine Institute of the 21st Century Educators. And we have also Sir John Michael Sonsa, the president of Pinoy Educators Advocating Social Media Education, or PIASME. Sir Ricky Kibinko, the convention director, Jose Monticado, Jose Adrian Casella, Jerry Huacon, Chito Tomines, Charles Isla, Adam Junio, Cyril de la Fuente, and yours truly, Isidro Villa Jr. We would like to thank also the participants for attending this event this afternoon. So we also would like to invite everyone to attend the next virtual conference scheduled on October 16, 2020 at 3 p.m. So our speaker is Ma'am CRISTINA Marie Lopez Enosa. She is the Centric Curriculum Development Group Chairperson of Social Science Department in Ivana Eudora Kayan High School, United States of Virgin Islands, Department of Education. So her topic is gamifying online classroom, new and engaging approach and teaching. So what is good here is that by time we are able to learn, we are able to engage ourselves in the use of technology, and we're able to explore all aspects of new normal education. And we hope this afternoon you have learned a lot. So thank you so much, and God bless us all. Happy Teachers Month, everyone. Virtual clap. And maybe we would like also to request our participants to have a picture opportunity or photo opportunity with our speaker, Engineer Joel P. Garcera. If we still have enough time, we would like to request everyone to kindly open your video so we can take some screenshots as a remembrance for this meaningful activity we have this afternoon. So we would like to request our technical team to do the screenshot. Okay, so we are waiting for the others to open their camera. We will also try our best to send the pictures taken on your respective email address.
Next page na.
Okay, first page first. Okay, done. It's time for the participants on the second page. Okay. Technical team, done? Not yet.
Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
let's scroll down on the third page.
Second lang. Second.
Okay, so that ends our virtual conference this afternoon. Thank you so much, and a virtual clap for everyone.
Nag-clap.
No, sila. Music.
Oras nasasubmit pa. Monday.
Take you so, baby, let me. And I get to take you so, baby, let me. It's a little baby show. Take you so, baby, let me. And I get to take you so, baby, let me. It's a little baby show. Take you so, baby, let me. And I get to take you so, baby, let me. It's a little baby show. Take you so, baby, let me. And I get to take you so, baby, let me. It's a little baby show. Take you so, baby, let me. And I get to take you so, baby, let me. It's a little baby show. Take you so, baby, let me. And I get to take you so, baby, let me. It's a little baby show. Take you so, baby, let me. And I get to take you so, baby, let me.